Good morning, everyone. It is Camille here from PrioritizeLove.com. I help single-driven women in how to have an amazing, fulfilling, passionate, and committed relationship. So I'm really, really happy that Robert and I were just doing a quick check-in this morning. And first of all, I'd like to introduce Robert Kirby. If you haven't met him before, Robert Kirby has been a leader of transformational personal development for over 30 years now. Is that right? Or am I exaggerating?
Actually, it's my 29th year, but it's close to 30.
Okay, we're close enough. Nearly 30 years. And Robert is as passionate about relationships as I am. And he's got a really exciting workshop coming up on February the 17th, which is next Saturday in Sydney. So welcome to the chat, Robert. Really happy to have you here.
Thanks, Camille. I always love talking to you because you're such a wonderful role model for development. You know, in your personal and professional life, you have really lived all the things that you teach and all the things that you learned over all these years. And so, yes, my hat's off to you. I always enjoy talking to you and your community.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about the Heartfelt relationship workshop that is coming up. Who is it for? Who is it for? Why should people out there definitely make it to the workshop if they can on Saturday next week?
Well, just a very brief background, Camille, is that Heartfelt Relationships has been around nearly 20 years. So I kept developing it because society is changing, as you know, at the speed of light. The whole dating scene, relationships, the way we move in and out of relationships so quickly, as opposed to previous generations, is quite astounding, and people's needs are very different. One of the things that I did in my research is that I found out that couples who are in happy long-term relationships do much better in business, both men and women, and they do better financially. That inner ground, that stability in your personal life is extraordinary because it gives you a very solid foundation to go out into the world. So I want to point out to the viewers that this is a very important link to get our relationship house in order. So as far as the February 17th Heartfelt Relationships course, one of the best things about it is it's free. It never used to be free, but I've been running it in Sydney and different places for free because it's a wonderful introduction to the transformational work that I do and then you're so familiar with. So it's whether you're single looking for a wonderful person, you can raise your vibration and resolve old issues, long-standing issues that you may have had from childhood or previous relationships. So if your vibration is higher, you definitely attract a different quality person. You know, birds of a feather flock together. So that is essential. And if you're in a relationship, you want to make that relationship stronger, more solid. And the way you increase that wave between a couple, that sexual tension that you have when you first fall in love, couples are capable of having that 10, 20, 30 years later, but they have to do work on themselves. Otherwise, resentment builds up and people talk to each other in a different way. They're less patient. They're more critical tones, and people can be reactive or withdraw. All the things you know that we do because we're all hard to live with. I know I am.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
None of us are perfect, unfortunately, right? So
that's right.
And one thing we mentioned in a quick chat before is that everyone, especially single people out there, they want that real quick fix of like, yes, I want the relationship, but they expect that real quick magic pill. And you sort of added, you had a really great, some great things to say about that. Like, why isn't there a magic quick fix for that?
Well, it's interesting because my observation, in myself as a human being, and in so many couples and singles that I work with, is that people who rush into things tend to rush out of them. And so it's like, catch your breath, get to know the person, be a friend first. So we want this, so that physical union can be so exciting. You start to think, oh, this is the one. But of course, that freshness, that newness of that initial, affection and connection sexually, that wears off. And then what are you left with? Is there a friendship here? Do we share same values? Do we want the same lifestyle? Do we want children or not children, marriage or not marriage, or are we living together? So sometimes people, they say they're in a relationship, but they don't really know the other person.
Absolutely. And is a lot of things that I love about your work, but one thing especially is you really dive deep into weeding out the defenses and the resistance that people have built up over the years. So maybe give the listeners a taste of, why it's so important to actually be aware of where our resistance is. So for example, a lot of my clients say to me like, oh, but I'm totally ready for this relationship. But then when someone comes along that is actually available, they have massive fear around it because they were so used to being drawn to unavailable, emotionally unavailable men.
Yes.
So why is it so important then to really do the inner work necessary?
We have to work on ourselves to be free so we can really connect on an emotional level and spiritual level with the other person. That's that bridge. That's that union that creates a deep friendship where when things come up that we don't get reactive or withdraw, we can stay present and focused. Problem is, by age 7, we've all been conditioned. It's called neuroplasticity. And the neuroscientists have talked about, we can be addicted to negative emotions and not even know it. It's like sometimes people, for no reason will make a mountain out of a molehill. A big argument will blow up over a tiny little thing. Now, this happens to all of us. It's because we're being reactive, or maybe we're afraid it's happening too quickly, or we're afraid of the intimacy, we're afraid of getting hurt, we're afraid of repeating old patterns. So by coming to a day like Heartfelt Relationships, you get to look at it in a fun-loving way. We laugh at ourselves, we have a good time, and we share things, and everyone, for some reason, they get to feel really safe very quickly, and we start to share these deep pains that we have about really letting someone get close to us. So yes, they're tricky relationships. They're always hard work, but they're worth it. They're absolutely worth it.
100%. So we are going to share the link for the registration link underneath the video. And there was something else we were going to mention. I forgot now.
Yes. Okay. This particular one, we decided to do something really fascinating. A lot of times people love to come and bring a friend along. Whoever brings the most friends can receive a $15,000 scholarship to really transform their whole life, doing leadership trainings, advanced leadership trainings, live-in retreats, coaching sessions. So it's a smorgasbord. It's a wonderful gift, and some lucky person is going to have that. It's as simple as this. Whoever shows up with the most friends wins the $15,000. So we've never done it before, and so it's an incentive for people to show up, get their friends along, get support, and have a good day.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So they will have access to some of your really, your really key trainings as a complimentary gift. Is that right?
Yes. That's
amazing.
Right. Yes.
So let's share the love. It's next week. It's perfect timing just after Valentine's Day. I guess there's the whole theme of love in the air. And I think another quick thing to mention also is that it's not going to be like a sit down, just listening to information type of workshop.
No, I'm not a lecturer. That's not my style. I'm a facilitator. You know that. So I'm with people are interacting constantly throughout the day, and they're working on issues. They're doing constellations. They're looking at how, we take on the worst and best qualities of both parents. So we're looking at that very closely. We're looking at leaving the past in the past where it belongs, not carrying our baggage with us, because it just creates havoc. And so this way I guide, I facilitate. All people have to do is be willing to surrender and share and be open, and amazing things happen.
Amazing. And of course it is open to men and women as well. And that's another amazing aspect, because then we can really shift stuff with, because it's not just women, and we will have all our mirrors in the room, and which makes it even more powerful.
One exciting thing is about a year and a half ago, we had a mature age couple come, and they met and fell in love, and they have come back to the course where they met 5 times, and because they just loved it so much, and it keeps strengthening their relationship. So they're still madly in love, and they're both over 50ish. But it changed everything for them because, like all of us, we carry baggage with us. And as we get older, sometimes it weighs us down and our vibration goes down. So it just lifts your vibration in the one day to a whole new level.
Beautiful. So for anyone listening who is willing to really dive deeper and they're committed to having an amazing, extraordinary relationship, click on the link and register for next Saturday. My baby brain is kicking in. 17th of February in Sydney. So Thanks so much, Robert, for checking in this morning. And
great chatting with you. Always great to see you.
We'll chat again soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye for now.